Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
It's 2 o'clock on Friday, everybody.
Rock and roll.
Getting ready to do the world famous podcast of video
One, two,
marketing
one,
madness.
2, 1, 2. Am I loud enough?
Oh, you are loud. Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
All right.
Loud and Swain.
I'll turn it up just a little. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, that's brilliant. Probably louder than me even. Who knows?
1, 2, 1, 2. That's good enough right there.
That is good. That is good.
I got little VU meters, virtual VU meters.
Me
Kinda
too.
Cool. Oh, do you?
For you and for me. And for
I
and for
love it.
the music and for anything else.
Wow.
I got a whole board for it. So, anyway, let's not talk all about that because we got more important things we're going to talk about on the show today. We're going to be talking about running YouTube ads for local, and we're doing this because we've been doing a lot of this lately, and we did an entire lesson this week on how to do this for some of our paid customers. Now, obviously, we're not going to show you all the different ins and outs like we did them, but we're going to talk about YouTube ads in general for local businesses and why they're so important and how you can kind of generically run them to get a lot of great results. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, what's that?
I placed my first campaign yesterday.
I know. I'm surprised that's your first one. I thought you'd done it a million times.
I do it for views,
Sure.
the promote, and then that one switch has kind of gone away because, so I need to learn it. Yeah, but I just always did the $5, got some views for ranking. So, yeah.
Very good. That makes sense. Makes sense indeed. So we're going to talk all about that today, and I'm going to fix my audio there just a tiny bit. I seem to be a little low today for some reason. But with that, we're ready to get started. So, Steve, are you ready?
I am always ready, Ray.
All right, then let's make sure everything's queued up here. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to show you how you can run local ads with YouTube and how you can get tons of leads by doing it. And today's episode is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. If you're looking to get a video editor for your video projects, well, you can get freevideoeditor.co. Download the Shotcut Video Editor and start editing like a pro. So head on over there now, freevideoeditor.co, and leave off the last M for, well, once again, there's no M words here.
Oh, no. Oh, come on. Okay, mommy.
Mommy. Leave off the last M for mommy. Freevideoeditor.co. And with that,
How much
let's
does it
play
cost?
It's free, by the way. Totally free.
Free.
And you get a lot of great bonuses with it. So good for free. Here we go. Here we go.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper on the Show Podcast Network. We need help over at our Facebook page. Head over there, like some of our posts, like the page, click follow, click see first. We need help on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to subscribe, leave a good review. What else? We got a YouTube channel.
We just need lots of help.
I need a lot of mental help.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
But, of course, even with your mental deficiencies, you were able to run local YouTube ads yesterday yourself, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, Steve, tell me a little bit about your experience running those local ads. I mean, was it hard? Did anybody torture you? Were you injured in any way?
No, I was not injured in any way, although there was a couple times I probably but you do. That's how you learn. You do it one time. Now, let me just say, because you said before the program began that you were surprised I hadn't done anything, because I do a lot of YouTube ranking. Well, I had just placed the $5 ad views before. You hit the promote button, plug in a few things, and away you go. That's kind of gone away. So and also once I found out that it can be a business unit that I can offer to my existing clients, run YouTube ads, impressions for pennies a piece. So when I went to place it, I had no problem with the Instream. Just boom, went great. Just picked goal as leads, video, and the instructions you gave me, just walked right through it. When I got to Discovery, I kept trying and trying and trying, and I couldn't get it. So finally, I called Google customer support, and they're great, by the way. And
they really are. I've had to talk to them this week as well. So
they're wonderful. And the gal got, she said, "Look, let's start a hangout. Show me your screen. Show me what you're doing." So when I went to the goals part, she went, "Oh, we need to add something there." So she said, "Let me talk to my supervisor." She came back, and what it turned out to be, to run Discovery, there's supposed to be a little box in there for your goals that says no goals. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So you didn't see that, huh?
It wasn't there. And I've checked on all my AdWords accounts. It's not there.
That's crazy.
So if it's not there, just call support. This is a great tip. It'll save you a ton of time. Call support and tell them what the deal is, and they'll activate it.
Yeah, and that's the secret to that. It's terribly worded, even when it is there, when it says no goal, because really what they're trying to say there is, when you're doing discovery ads, you're helping people to find your videos and watch your videos. So there's no goal per se other than getting views, but why they call it no goal, it doesn't make
Couldn't
a lot
think
of sense.
of anything else. Yeah, because you still have a goal. You still have a goal,
and you're trying to get people to watch your videos and then hopefully take action from what they see. Whereas with the in-stream ads, you're trying to get them to take action with a click right away, versus just trying to get them to watch then they'll take an action later. So it can be a little confusing there, but yeah, when you're doing the discovery ads, and by discovery ads, by the way, we're talking about the ones when you search in, pizza parlor,
DUI
New
lawyer.
York. Yeah,
You're in
DUI lawyer, whatever.
Mississippi.
You're trying to search for something. It could be anything.
Pizza's
best knockouts of 2014, whatever. When you search that in the bar and all those results come out, well, the top one oftentimes is an ad. And when you're watching a video, up in the corner, oftentimes there's an ad in the corner on the watch page where you're watching the video. And so those types of things are called discovery ads because you're helping people to discover your videos. Sometimes they're called display ads. Just depends on how you do it. And the other are in-stream ads. Literally, they're in the stream of the video. Before the video plays, you get a pre-roll ad. And so that's both of those work very well depending on how you use them. But Steve,
and those are true views, aren't they? They got the skip ad thing after so many seconds.
Yeah, and they call it that because you truly get a view if you're getting paid. So they're kind of playing off that. So
Is it 10 seconds? After 10 seconds, you can
it's
skip
5
it?
seconds.
5 seconds. Okay. All right. Okay.
So after and some people are probably going, well, wait a minute. I've been to ones where I had to watch the whole video. Well, there are also ad networks that you can join that aren't directly affiliated with YouTube, and those YouTube makes deals with those with those ad companies, and those guys you have to watch the full video before you can get into the video, so there's no skip button. So just depends whether you're going to do an ad network or you're going to do it yourself. Personally, I always do it myself. It's fine with me. If people click off after 5 seconds, then they're not interested in, then I don't get charged. So it's a good thing.
Well, and the other thing, and I know we can only give away so much today, but one of the things that I found with your YouTube course, especially with the ads, and that's the reason. But I got to tell you, I've been a YouTuber for 8 years, and on every single evening you did something, I picked up something I didn't know.
Nice.
So that was good. The ads I really needed to be educated on, and there's a lot of stuff in there. Unless you take a course, you don't know what to do. So
Yep.
that was good.
And I'm by no means, I don't consider myself to be some great ads expert either. There's so much in there that you can do with different targetings and, based on people's actions and all sorts of fun stuff that I don't really get into very often. But what we typically run is ads for local businesses. And that's what we want to talk about today because it is a little bit different. It's actually a lot easier, even though it sounds complex. And quite honestly, a lot of local businesses are afraid to do it because they need one thing in order to do it, and that's a video. And if they don't have a video that they think they could run as an ad, then that kind of kills them right there. They think they got to go produce videos and everything else. And so it becomes complex. But in reality, it's very, very easy to set up, and it's very, very effective. We've seen some of our clients just get, just a ton of clicks and calls and views doing these simple things. So when we're talking about a local business, the great thing about it is if you're in Pennsylvania, you might only need to target people in Philadelphia. You might only need to target people in Pennsylvania. And so therefore, you can go into the YouTube ads. When you're creating your ad, you bring in your video and all that kind of fun stuff, and you tell it, hey, I only want this to run in Massachusetts. And that's what makes this so powerful, because you can do so many things once you kind of geolocate the area, once you fence it off. And so if you're only doing in let's say Philadelphia, well, then you can start to broadly target but limit the location. And so typically when we think about advertising, you think, oh, I'm going to go after people between 18 and 32 and only women. But if you can open up yourself and your business to everybody, but then limit it to just Philadelphia, you've really got a kind of targeted audience there, but it's a very wide range audience in that area. And what's great about that is if you're a plumber, for instance, and you're going to run an ad, well, who has plumbing issues? Anybody. They could be 18, they could be 80. You don't know. And so what this allows you to do is, if you're only going to help this Philadelphia area, well, then you target that Philadelphia area off, and then you target everybody in that area, because you never know who's going to get it. Steve, I think you got something to say.
I got plumbing issues. I take some pills for it. But no, that was a joke. But I got a question. This is true. This is a true question. It's not a joke. Geofencing.
Yes.
Do we need to put a geo indicator in the keywords? So in other words, can we just put DUI lawyer?
Yes, you can just put DUI lawyer. You don't have to put a location, because what you're going to do is in the YouTube ads, you're literally telling it, do not run it anywhere except Pennsylvania, or except Philadelphia. And because of that, it doesn't matter if it has a location indicator. Some of them do anyway, because we're also trying to rank them organically and things like that. So they'll have that. But yeah, you shouldn't need that at all. You can have if you're trying to target that particular area, you can have much more generic titles for things, much more general titles, because it's still going to be limited to that area automatically. So that's a big help there. And of course, what we like to do is we actually like to run two types of ads. We like to run the in-stream ads, and we like to run the discovery ads. The in-stream ads are very easy. So if we're dealing with a plumber and we've got a very general plumbing video, we can have that run throughout Philadelphia on cat videos, on martial arts videos, on whatever it is, political videos, whatever your potential clients are watching, they have the opportunity to see your ad. And the idea is it's like a billboard. They're going to see it, 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 they're going to see it. And then the day that they have, their sink starts shooting water out of it, well, now they know who to call because they've seen that ad 100 times. And that's kind of our goal with this. We want it to be localized, but we want it to be very broad topic. In fact, I was talking to, we were having an issue with one of the ads that we were running. It just, for whatever reason, it didn't do it wasn't showing up at all. And I was speaking to the girl, and she said, no, everything seems to be fine, just give it time. But she said, well, I noticed you didn't put any keywords in there. And I said, yeah. I said, our target demographic is just that state, and we don't care what they're watching. We don't need to target it because it could be anybody. And she was like, oh, that's really interesting. And I said, well, it's local marketing. It's just like television and cable. When you're running these ads on cable or regular TV in a local market, you want it to be everywhere so people see it, but only in that market. Yes, Steve.
Okay, so another question. I keep interrupting you, but at least I raise my hand. For those of you on the podcast, you don't see me raising my hand, but I am. So the in-stream ads are really for branding, top of mind, brand awareness. You want them to know about you in case you ever spring a leak, or you get picked up for a DUI, or you get in a car accident, injury lawyer. Yeah. So you don't need keywords for that.
Not for the ones I'm talking about. You can do that still, and we still do that. We like to run at least one ad that is very general like that. Now, if we want to get into the more sophisticated targeting, and depending upon the type of business that you have, this may change a little bit. But for instance, if we know we want to, get people that I don't even know. In plumbing, I'm trying to think of something. Maybe they're going to be remodeling a bathroom or something. So you can kind of start to target those types of things with the Instream ads, so that they see that when they're about to remodel a house. In some other things like caterers, we talked about caterers on one of the lessons. You can go after people who are recently or who are planning to get married. You can go after people that are graduating college or high school or whatever. And when you do those types of things, now you can make sure it gets in front of the people that are graduating, so that they say, oh, we can get a caterer for our graduation party. Oh, we're getting married. We can hire this caterer. So you can kind of target those types of things, both with the in-stream and the display ads. So you can do either one, the discovery ads. And so you can mess around with both of those types of things. But we like to run at least one ad that's just for everybody in that small area. Now, if you're in a business that is not for everybody, then you can start to target it down. One of the examples I said is, Curves for women, the fitness centers. They're for women. So why wouldn't you target it down to just women, And if it's something for young people, why wouldn't you target it down? In those cases, you would. But for plumbing or personal injury law, electricians, things like that, where anybody could need one at any time, you want to get it in front of everybody. So that's the kind of difference there. But the other type of thing that we like to do is with the discovery ads. Now, the discovery ads are where you can have a lot of fun as well, because what you're doing is much more like pay-per-click. When people go to that title bar and they type in, fix a broken sink, they expect videos on how to fix a broken sink. And so that's where you can start putting in the keywords and really target people down. In the case of the injury lawyers, we go after words that are very specific to, being in a car crash or, medical malpractice or what have you. And so that way, when people are searching for that, our video is going to pop up, but that's the only time it's really going to show up. And that allows us to be super, super targeted. Now with this, don't be too scared when you see your numbers, because you're not going to see 500 people, 1,000 people watch your video because of this. You're going to see, in a week, you might get 5, 10, if it's a little more broad, a little more common, you might get 50 or 60, but for the most part, we see maybe 5 to 10 in a week at most. And that's because those are really targeted down to people that need an injury lawyer right now. And so those 5 to 10 people that saw that are much more likely to make a phone call than the people that are just seeing it when they're watching cat videos, And so we like to really target that down. And with the display network stuff, with the discovery ads, we like to run multiples that go after different things. So maybe this one is specifically targeting people that have been in a car crash, people that have been in a truck crash, people that had medical malpractice. And so we got all these highly targeted ads that are very specific to that particular incident, because we want to get what people are typing in. They're typing something into the bar, and we're targeting those people when they type, so that our video shows up. Because if you're saying, need a Philadelphia, chiropractor, that means you need to go to the chiropractor right away for whatever reason. So you're much more likely to immediately make a phone call, and so those are very highly targeted, and that's why we like them. So yes, Steve.
Length of videos for Instream and Discovery. I think you said 30 seconds is...
Well, there's no hard and fast rule for that at all. Honestly, most of the Instream ads you're going to see are probably short, but they don't have to be. We've done Instream ads with an entire music video. This is like 3 minutes long, and that worked really well for us. It just depends on what's going on, what the audience is. In the Instream, after 5 seconds, they may shut it off, they may not. I know there's one particular ad that shows up in mine all the time, and I've watched it a few times, and it's got to be 4 to 5 minutes long. So it shows it's a guy trying to sell you a business system, and he goes behind the scenes and he shows you all the different stuff. He shows you their offices and everything, and it's a good 4 to 5 minutes long. And so it doesn't have to be short. Now, if it is short, that can be a good thing, because people can see it quickly and they can take action, but it doesn't need to be. It's much like with any video that you're creating for a local business. You want it to be as short as possible to keep attention span, but you want it to be as long as necessary, because you want to make sure that you get the information out there. So for instance, if we were dealing with bankruptcy lawyers, if somebody really needs to understand a Chapter 13 because they think they need to file one, they're not going to care that it's a 7-minute video, because they need the information. So it can it can be okay to have a longer one. Typically, they're going to be shorter, and that's just what we're conditioned to with commercial type videos. Yes.
Okay, I got a question that's a little off topic here. You're talking about bankruptcy lawyers. I'm just curious because I know you've worked with them. What's an average bankruptcy worth to them in fees?
It kind of depends on the type of bankruptcy and everything else. I mean, we've dealt with a lot of them that had very fixed rates. Like this type of bankruptcy for $799, or $1,500. And that kind of, I would say $1,500 kind of fits that middle road there, because obviously a more complex one could be a lot more expensive, and a very simple one, where they're just coming in, they're filing bankruptcy and getting everything discharged. Some of those guys they call them, bankruptcy factories, because people just come in, they file, they go out. They come in, they file, they go out, and they pay like $799 to do that. But for a traditional bankruptcy, that's not too complex, but it gets a little more attention. Probably a good $1,500.
And divorce? You ever worked with divorce lawyers?
Yeah, we have. I don't know honestly what the value of that is. I mean, that obviously can be huge differences from just paying to file paperwork essentially to big contested divorces from multimillionaires. So it's going to vary a lot.
Yeah, and I know for the average guy, and I'll need to talk to a divorce lawyer, but I've interviewed enough divorce lawyers on my Ask the Expert podcast that anymore it's all formula based for the average person.
It pretty much is. I mean, there's not not the fighting that obviously if you've got a massive estate, there can be a lot of fighting.
Yeah, but
for the average person, it's pretty.
They go.
Oh no, I get this debt. No, you get this debt. So.
Yeah, it's not that at all. They look at mom's financial situation, dad's financial situation. They want joint custody. They take the income levels and plug them into a spreadsheet, basically.
Yep. By the way, that would make a very good video for people that are searching for that information.
Oh yeah.
Run an ad for that. They can kind of understand it, because that's in a lot of those fields, especially like the bankruptcy field, the Q&A style answering question stuff worked really, really well, because people wanted to know. Like a popular one that we would do would be, are they going to come and take my car away? Are they going to come and take my furniture? Am I going to lose my house? And those types of things would be great for discovery ads, because people are searching those in there. They're looking, they know they need to file bankruptcy, and so they're typing in, if I file bankruptcy, well, I lose my car. And if we have a video that's there and it's in an ad, people are going to see that, and they're going to click on it, and they're going to find out. So it can be very effective. And with the discovery ads, we talked about the length on the Instream ads, but in the discovery ads, it could be pretty much anything, because people are clicking to watch a video anyway. You're just paying to have your video show up, because maybe you're not showing up organically. And so now you can make sure that you show up in there. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
okay,
the other thing about this is when you get into doing all of these ads, it's going to really behoove you to find not only the right videos, but to really target whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So for instance, in the case of a plumber, you may have one ad running for people that are trying to find out about stopped up sinks, and another one for people trying to figure out how to, replace a sink, or people trying to figure out how to fix their dishwasher, things like that. So being able to run multiple ads for multiple different things is going to be really important for a lot of these different businesses. In personal injury, medical malpractice, truck crashes, car crashes, slip and fall, totally different subjects. And so you might have a generic video for a law firm that you're running as an in-stream ad that'll cover a lot of different things, but on those discovery ads, you want to really make sure that you're kind of niching them down. And again, you don't have to worry too much about the cost, because you're not going to be paying much for most of these types of things, because it has to be people that are actively searching for it, and there's not going to be that many on YouTube searching specifically for medical malpractice videos in a geo-fenced area. It's going to be a small number. Same thing with plumbers. There's only so many plumbers in a city that are, or so many people looking for plumbers in a city on a given day. It's just not going to be, hundreds or thousands of people normally. So That's just something to think about. Run a few different ads. And by the way, when you're running ads, if you've got multiple videos, so for instance, let's say you're working with a client who has a few different videos on Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Well, you can run an ad group and put multiple videos in there. Let that ad run on all of them. Let all of them run as ads, and it'll kind of just pick and choose, and you can see which one converts better. If one of them does much better than the others, pull the other ones off and just run that one, and you'll get nice results with that. So it can be a very, very easy way to split test not only the ads, but that'll help you to split test your video, because now you know that this video out of those three is the one that's really going to get people's attention. So now you could work a lot harder to rank that particular video than maybe the others. So there's a lot of different things you can do with that. On top of that, you want to make sure that you're following this all the time. You want to be constantly paying attention to see what's going on. Make sure that your videos are getting views. Make sure that they're not costing you a fortune. A good average, by the way, if we can get 4 to 5 cents a click, or a video rather, that's really good. If we get 4 to 5 cents. Now, some of the discovery ones, they might be a little higher. Be prepared. Pull out that wallet, because you might pay 10 cents. So if you get 5 people in a week, you're going to be spending $5. And I say that in jest because, in traditional Google, you might be getting charged $70 to $150 per click inside of Google. So the fact that you're paying, 10 cents per view. Now, a view is not a click. Just because somebody watches your video in a discovery ad, clicks on it and watches it, that doesn't mean they take action. So if you get 100 people to do that, you might only get 5 people to take an action. So you have to multiply that out, and you'll find out, okay, so it was 10 cents per view. We got 100 views, so that's $10, but only 5 people called out of 100, so it's, you got to factor all those things in to decide what it is. But guess what, folks? It isn't going to be $100 a click. And that's where it gets really exciting. And people laugh sometimes about that, but pay-per-click on Google can really be $100+ per click, especially in things like personal injury, which we do a lot of. So just something to think about as far as keeping the prices nice and low for people. So one of the things that people always want to know is, okay, we're going to run these ads. How much are these ads going to cost in a month? And, am I going to be spending $1,000 a month? Am I going to be spending $10,000? Am I going to be spending $500, $100? What is that amount of money that you're going to spend? Now, what we recommend is that we start out kind of low. Do $5 to $10 on that discovery ad, and do $5 to $10 on that Instream ad. See how each performs. The Instream ad in this particular case is typically going to get a lot more views, so it's going to cost a lot more. So if you're doing $10 a day at 30 days, that's $300 a month. Now, what you want to do is you want to watch that and see, okay, I'm paying $10 a day, and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon every day, I've run out of money. It's used my $10 a day. So clearly, you can up that and get more people. And so maybe you want to try 15, see what happens, and see if that gets you through the day. If it still doesn't, go up to 20, because you're going to get more and more eyeballs. Now, of course, at the same time, if you're not getting phone calls, you don't want to keep upping this and throwing money away. But I can almost guarantee if you're putting those discovery ads out there and you're putting those Instream ads out there and they're charging you money, people are checking out your stuff. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got analytics on your website, see what the referring URLs are. Google has these wonderful charts now, these blue charts, and they show the days of the week and the times, and the darker the blue, the more activity. And what we've discovered is when we run the YouTube ads, we'll check out that box and we'll see, okay, Thursday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we got a whole bunch of video views for whatever reason. Well, now we can go and we can look at the website analytics and go, oh, look, Thursday at that same time, 3 to 4 o'clock, we got a bunch of phone calls. So clearly, that the traffic matches the traffic that you were getting in the YouTube ad. When the YouTube ad spiked, you got a spike in phone calls. Now, if you see the opposite, well, then something's not working right, and you're going to want to move things around and check it out. But the big thing is, again, in display ads, a lot of times people aren't going to take action right away. But in discovery ads, those are the ones you can really kind of pinpoint. Okay, we had a lot of action here, we had visitors here, and we got phone calls. And so now you can correlate the three together. Now you can get fancy. You can do tracking numbers and things like that to make sure that you understand where all the calls and clicks are coming from. but it's not always necessary because a lot of the analytics will tell the story for you. And of course, if you see general increases, then you know that spending the money has worked there. So there you go. That's kind of our primer on local ads and how to run them for local businesses, YouTube ads.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, I think it's very cool, and I'm like I said, I placed my first 2 campaigns, Instream and Discovery, yesterday. I think Discovery could be good if you're pay-per-performance, and I'm going to test that, see how it works. The other thing, speaking of the Discovery ads, which are, what do they used to call those? Display ads, I
Display
think.
ads, or I think they called them in-display ads.
In-display ads, that's right. Somebody brought up in your course last night, Ray's got a course, and he's been doing the teaching on Tuesday night and Q&A on Thursday night. So last night was Q&A, and somebody brought up that Discovery ads, nobody's using those, are they? And Ray said, you'd be surprised. People do search for a plumber on YouTube.
Yep, absolutely.
So it might be hard to believe, but they do.
No, they definitely do. And we, like I said, we target those so tightly on some of these things that it's almost impossible for there to be a lot of people. But we're not, with our in-discovery ads, when we're doing that, we're not looking for a lot of people or a lot of eyeballs. We're looking for people that are ready to take action right then and there. So we don't care if, this week only 5 people saw that ad, because it's so tightly targeted. Because in our case, if they were in a car crash, that one person out of 5 that saw it, it could be worth $100,000.
Oh yeah.
$1 million in some cases, depending on what's going on. So it's well worth it to do that. Now, in some of the other things, if they're not quite as tightly locked in, you're going to get it out there a lot more. And one other thing I want to bring up, and I mentioned this a little bit last night, is when you're doing YouTube ads and you're doing in-stream ads and they're clicking and going back to your website does have to follow all of the PPC, the normal PPC stuff that has to be done. So you got to have the terms of service and the privacy policies, and it can't be just a squeeze page and all that kind of fun stuff. However, there is kind of a loophole in the in-discovery ads. What people are doing is they're clicking on that video, watching the video, and if you send them from the video to a different location, they're not going to be scrutinizing that in the same way. So you can get away with a lot more there. And one other thing that we've done in the past too that's worked really well is we've done in-stream ads that just link back to the video. And then the video links back to the website. So again, we don't have to go through the scrutiny of pay-per-click. People are seeing the in-stream ad, they're clicking on that, they're going to watch a video on YouTube. The video is going to have the link back to the website or to the product or to whatever it is. So you can play games like that because, believe me, they're going to approve you linking to your video. And it could be, you could create a commercial about your video, or in some cases, we've taken the actual video, put it as an in-stream ad, and the link on there goes back to the same video. So you can make a smaller video that points to the bigger video, or you can just put the regular video in there and they can watch it in both locations. Either way, you're going to get a lot of views, and it's going to help bring that up. So,
okay, question.
Yeah.
Can the GMB sites, the business.site, will they approve those as the link in an Instream?
I'm sure they would. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem at all. I personally, I don't think I've ever tried, but there's no reason they wouldn't. So.
I think I read an article that said on Google pay-per-click, if you want to just get by real easily, to use the business.site. Now that I think about it, so
yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, they're not fantastic websites, but they got all the information. They got images. They got contact info, so that can work really well for you.
Okay, cool. And they rank well.
And they do rank well. They do rank pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's our primer. Hope you guys are ready to start running those ads.
Fabulous. And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper on the Earn Dot Show. Wait a minute. Yeah, Earn Dot Show Podcast Network. You were back there mimicking me, and I looked, and I totally, I get flustered easily. You wouldn't think so. I've been in front of a microphone for 40 years, but anyhow. So who's helping to bring this fine program today?
Well, this fine program is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. If you're looking to to do video editing like a
turn.
professional, well, you need a professional video editing program, and you can get one free at freevideoeditor.co. And you can get it now by going to freevideoeditor.co. Leave off the last M for millions, which was on the page there. So leave off the last M for millions. That is freevideoeditor.co. And with that, we will see you on the next episode for Steve Sleeper. I'm Ray the Video Guy. Shall we play that funky music?
Hit it, Ray.
All right, here we go.
Here comes.
Here we go. Uh-oh. Here we go. Maybe. Hard drive's frozen. Here we go. Warm it up.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.